playtesting Saga of Lucimia, which is currently in early access, brought to you by Stormhaven Studios. They're doing every few weeks they're doing some testing, very early stage of development. We've had the benefit of actually having Tim, aka Renfell, on our show Dairy Forge a few times to talk about the game. So I'm logging in, getting ready to do some testing. Actually, the server will be open for 48 hours, so I hope to get several of these in over the next 1 to 2 days. So currently there's a few build templates we can use. Fighter, Range, Scholar. I am learning all of this. I actually did not get to playtest the last session, which was the first they actually did. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So I'm actually learning as I go. Eventually they're going to let you be able to create completely from scratch, but they do have some of these build templates, which is what we're going to use today. There's not a lot that we will be able to test, but we'll see what's going on. I know last time I had a fairly good turnout, and I always like to play a magic wielding class, although technically there is no magic in the first sort of chapter or release that will be found later. They do use relic weapons, which have some residual magic. Abilities, so that's why part of what we'll probably see here looks to be a little bit magic. So let's see what we get going. See what happens. That was pretty quick. So you can see there's several people in. Test dummies, or the target dummies, those are the only things we're going to actually be able to have combat with. They're actually currently on a, I believe they're also going to be on a TeamSpeak server right now, but obviously since I'm streaming, I'm not on with them currently, because I also plan to put this over on YouTube, but there's quite a few people logged in. I'm not sure why no one's moving. You can see the scenery is actually pretty nice. This is fully fledged group game. They're really throwing back to what made MMOs great, as they put it, back in the old days. So really, to do anything in this game, you're going to have to be grouped up with some friends. This is actually the first iteration of combat as well, and a lot of what you see, they've not done any passes beyond sort of initial creation, so a lot of the visuals will also get better, although they look pretty damn good right now. I'm looking to see if there's any folks I know. I don't see any familiar names. So, as you can see, everything is first person. There's Renfell. There will be third person within the game. I believe they're shooting for that by the time it releases, but it's actually going to be a skill. Almost like a scouting skill, so it is something that will have to be trained, and it is something that will take points away from other skills. So I wish I was in there, TeamSpeak, just to figure out why no one is moving. And I feel like I'm flying. I don't know what they're doing, so I'm going to go take a look around the scenery here. There we go. Ah, yes. So to actually use any of the weapons, we have to unsheath them. So I'm not sure what all of these things are. And I'm getting a little lag, but like I said, they're just now testing. So I'm not really sure what else functional. I can tell you what they want to be testing currently. Zoning into dungeons, zoning into a tavern, kind of basic combat skills that I mentioned, the 3 classes. Just making sure everything logging in is correct. And then group function. Making sure animations are looking up to speed as well. So, just going to look around. The world is actually very, very nice looking. Oh yes, the traditional shift key to sprint. One of the things they've talked about, as you can see in first person, I'll go back here. Imagine you're running through a field like this. You're not going to really be able to see what's in front of you, and that's where third person as a skill comes in. I have my own concerns about that. I actually always play in third person. So the idea of having to be in a first person setup kind of irritates me a little bit, but I've gone through that with Tim in some of our Theory Forge casts, but certainly we're still giving it a try. I'm not sure what this...
It's a cool landscape.
I believe back here was the tavern. I've seen pictures of it before. Again, I didn't get to join them their last play session. I don't even know, quite frankly, if you were able to zone into the tavern then or not. But I really like this setting. I'm currently running at, I believe my resolution is 1900 by 1200, and it's set on the maximum video setting, so it's supposed to be, as I put, the best looking. A lot, I believe, of this is handcrafted. Now they have used some Unity assets, and this is based in Unity. Started off as a D&D campaign. A bunch of well, I believe everyone actually, at least the core, played EverQuest original, and a lot of the storyline here came out of a D&D campaign that they would do. They're actually doing one now that they run live on Twitch with some community members, where they're actually working through part of the lore early on. Get a little bit of lag. It makes my vision a little weird. They're also doing I think they call it a social experiment on EverQuest. It's actually the P99 server, where they're running with a group to go back to the idea of actually requiring a group to go through dungeons. And one of the things that they build is they'll have overland content, but their dungeon content will, they say, take months to actually complete. Which is hard to believe, although back in the day of EverQuest, I would say that was actually fairly accurate. Being able to work through all of the content in one specific dungeon, it took a while. So that is what they are designing currently, and I am still not sure why everyone is sitting around. Being the first time in here, I really like the scenery. I mean, considering what they're working with and how early some of this is. But again, you can still see in the first person setting, imagine running up on something, not knowing it's there until the last second. Well, this is interesting. So I imagine eventually some of these things will have movement. So the wheel here will eventually move. I don't know if there's, well, I guess we can't really see swimming animations. I'm not getting any chat. Something. There we go. There's a giant windmill moving. Oh. It's the first time I've seen any part of myself. There we go. But I grew up with EverQuest, so when we first saw this, we being me and some of the Theory Forge guys, we kind of latched on. I'll be one of the first to admit some of the ideas they were throwing about kind of confounded us, but you know, then again, we're living in the day of World of Warcraft sort of style being the norm. So we were somewhat skeptical when we thought about, do we actually think a game that requires so many group members can be viable? I think it can. It's just a matter of, you know, how many people actually think the same. So I'm not sure. I'm just kind of taking a tour. There's not a lot that can be done right now. And I need to find out why none of the other avatars are moving. But you can see, I really like the game world. Let's see what's back here. Yeah, some lag. Does this even have an entrance? Some windows, no doors, okay. Still in development. They're actually not planning for any, I believe their release they're shooting for is into 2018 or so. keeping in mind that it's a very small group. It's all basically on their free time. They're not making any money right now with this. They all have other jobs. Actually, really fun group of people to talk to. A lot of interesting ideas. Just getting a little bit of lag. So just try to. I want to see what this looks really nice back here. I was curious what this waterfall looks like up close. Here we go. Looks like a little bit of birds or something in the background. So the only thing I can actually even do combat with right now is the target dummies that I showed you earlier, but I really wanted to check out the scenery. I believe a lot, pretty strongly, the world building component of these environments are actually very important. You want the world to look as lush as it can, as real as it can, for the setting that you're shooting for, which is high fantasy here. Well, eventually. No magic to start with. I believe they'll have even skills like climbing, so maybe one day I'll be able to get to the top of that. Looks nice. Just that lag bug to quit. Although it won't, but it's getting me very disoriented very quick. Okay. Try to get my bearings and get back to where all these other people were. Go see if I can actually target one of the target dummies. Probably later I'm going to stream just some exploration. I'm trying to do these in little 30-minute clips, just because there's not a lot that can be done right now. I have to say I'm pretty impressed by the world. I'm sure with some of the passes, the artifact here, the lines that we see will go away. But I'm actually quite impressed with how it looks visually. The first-person view is still going to be interesting to get used to, but I'm still not getting anything on chat, so I wonder what's going on. So, someone's been hitting the target dummy. Alright, well, I am going to close this stream for now. And like I said, I will be posting some more videos as well and live streaming a little bit. I'll probably come back on and spend some time with the combat. To show you a little bit of what they have down here. They did warn us the skills actually are not necessarily fully functioning. So, and then also maybe later I will do some exploration. We'll take one of these paths back here and just see quite how far we can get within the world. So, you can go to sagaoflucimia.com actually if you're interested in this, and they are doing early access still. You can help with the development of the game. Now they are going to only do these, I think, every once a month or so. So it's not going to be a 24 hours, 7-day-a-week server that's open. But you will still be able to play occasionally. So I like what I'm seeing. Here a little bit later, again, I'll open a stream and we'll actually get a little bit further into how the combat works. So, for anyone that joined me on the stream, anyone that watches this on YouTube, thanks for joining, and I will be seeing you soon. Peace.